It's Short Circuit meets Top Gun covered in Axe body spray. That's right. We are talking about Stealth. Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to another Matinee Monday. I'm your host, Paul Scheer, a.k.a. Tall John, and today we are pulling from the vault a classic episode of How Did This Get Made? That's right, this has been behind a paywall for a very long time, and this is actually the very first episode that I did after the birth of my first son. So I'm in a frazzled state, or at least I think I am. I mean, this is the first time back in the studio. We're there with Charlie Sanders. June is not there. Charlie, by the way, is a writer, or was a writer for Key & Peele, and also created Weird City, a YouTube premium show with Jordan Peele. A super funny dude. I perform with him every week, or every month at Largo in the Dinosaur Improv Show. Great dude. Look him up. Find him. Follow him. Big Dodger fan. But that's besides the point. This movie is one of the biggest bombs of all time. It also is one of the best, worst movies ever made. Jamie Foxx dies early, but it has one of my favorite lines of dialogue that any movie ever has had, which is a girl goes to leave the scene. She's like, I'll be right back. I got to make pee-pee. And it wasn't ironic. It was Control Alt S. That's right. Save that shit. It was gold. Jessica Biel is in this movie as well. And she might have been the girl who said the pee-pee line. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, take a listen to the newly dadded me, Charlie Sanders, and Jason break down this airplane with terrible musical taste. I mean, look, it's a movie made in Ed Hardy times for Ed Hardy people. Take a listen to Stealth. And this movie cost a shitload. It was $135 million.
Whoa. Is that true?
That is the budget. $135 million. It came out in 2005, and the movie is supposedly taking place in the future.
The near future.
Which apparently, according to Wikipedia, it's 2016. So we can talk about it.
Is it really?
Yes, because this came out, so it was 11 years in the future. We can now talk about it and see.
So by that measure, They were like, oh, it's supposed to take place in 2016, but people are still gonna listen to like shitty rap rock.
Incubus all the way.
People are like, yeah, that's right. These bands are still gonna be cool in 11 years.
The only attempt at making this movie take place in the future is that one guy who wore Google Glass. Like that one guy. That was it. There was nothing.
Well, also when they fly their planes, their legs go straight out rather than they're in a chair.
Oh, okay. All right. So I didn't know that much about planes, but that is.
I mean, I think usually your legs go down like in a car. I assumed, I guess. But
it's not like a kayak.
Yeah, they're going kayak style.
They are basically like sky kayaking.
The thing that gets me about movies and planes is, obviously it's a very isolating experience. You're in a plane, but what they did in this movie that made me laugh was they fly so fucking close together.
Oh, I know.
And they're always turning out the window to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, what's up? Like they're
if there's not
eye
glass
contact.
between
They're
them.
making tons of eye contact. Like they want it to feel like intimate, like they're all hanging out together.
Yeah.
So they fly like wing to wing, and they use everybody's communication is so casual.
Oh, it's amazing.
They're so casual. Like I think pilots in those situations are using only exclusively like jargon.
Oh yeah. Totally.
And usually only saying what is absolutely necessary about what's going on. I don't think they're like broing down.
Well, it is. This is directed by the guy who directed the Fast and Furious movies, also The Boy Next Door. But it has like a bro feel to it, because it is we're just fucking dudes and this guy and a cool as shit girl, man.
Totally, yeah.
This girl, she's one of the guys.
She's one of the guys.
I gotta say, we were talking right before this started, and I said, to me, everyone equips themselves pretty well in this movie. Like, I don't think there's any really bad acting. I think the dialogue is insane, but I can't be like, oh, it's just the stupidest movie I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It is pointless. I'm shocked to find out that they spent $130 million on it, because it feels like a movie that people would make to just put out and see how much money it makes.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's almost like whatever. It came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's 10 years ago's Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why did they spend that much money on something that didn't have enormous stars?
It actually is one of the biggest flops of all time.
Wow.
The 8th in history
Whoa.
of biggest flops, because it only made $13 million on the first.
One
Two
person
people
bought
saw
a ticket.
One person got a ticket, and it was an elderly person.
Did you find Okay, so the movie is about these like three hotshot pilots: Josh Lucas, Jessica Biel, and Jamie Foxx. But I didn't know who the main character was. I knew Jessica Biel was not the main character.
Yeah, definitely. And Jamie Foxx dies so early.
Yes.
Like,
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler.
But Jamie
I was like, I
Foxx-
guess Josh Lucas is.
But when Jamie Foxx dies, that was I mean, we're jumping ahead, but I was not expecting that moment.
No, me neither.
At all.
I was like, whoa. I mean, I was shocked he was doing the movie because it's his next movie after he won an Oscar
I was just gonna
for
say,
Ray.
where did this come in Ray?
I feel like this is like the Halle Berry Catwoman thing. It's like, whoa, they're awesome. And then all of a sudden they're like, how much money for this movie? I'll get a fucking plane.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He was, great and charming, and Josh Lucas, totally fine and charming.
Josh Lucas was totally an actor
Yeah.
that was doing
And he
scenes and
acted
saying lines.
with his lines. And Jesse Biel was great.
Great, yeah, they're all good.
But none of them were like, A, none of these characters were that interesting. And B, like they had so little to do that
You could argue you couldn't, if we were all to challenge each other right now to say, separate the characters, like describe attributes of these characters.
Well, I almost feel like it would have made more sense to just have it be one pilot versus the plane.
Totally.
Well,
They didn't need three characters.
Well, it seems like the writers and the people making the movie figured that out an hour into the movie, because then they basically just did that. They just got rid of everybody else and just became Josh Lucas and the plane.
The one attempt at a character trait, I texted you this when I was watching it, was at
amazing.
some point early on, Jessica Biel and Josh Lucas are in Josh Lucas's dorm room or whatever you call it in the Navy. And she says something, and he is like, oh, that reminds me of this foster mother I had. And he tells like this story where you can't really follow like how it applies to what she said. And then she's like, it seems like you've got a foster mother story for every situation. And he goes, I lived through my childhood. I might as well use it. And you're like, okay, so I guess he had like a weird childhood with a bunch of foster parents or something, and then that applies not at all to anything that happens.
There's no. I mean, I guess
it's just like part of why he's. But was that story meant to, get to tweak at her heartstrings, like so that is it? Because his whole thing is like he just can't stop getting laid.
Yeah.
This guy is drowning in puss, but he's in love with Jessica Biel, and she's in love with him.
they don't really even show it. Like, I would say arguably the scene where you could really dig into that is when they all take a quick vacation to Thailand.
Yes. Why on earth? And they even say it in the movie. They get to the aircraft character. The whole thing is like you finally got a mission. You're going to the aircraft character. They carry you. They get there, and then they're like, great, you have R&R in Thailand. And Josh Lucas goes, didn't we just get here?
Yeah. They
That was
literally.
the actor asking, and they just kept the
They're
take.
like, keep it. It works. It works.
Well, I mean, and so they get to Thailand and they all have their separate adventures, their hangover-esque adventures. But you would think that they must have had terrible chemistry, because they shoot this scene by a waterfall and they have no dialogue.
That's right, yeah.
It's
They're
just
just
like a
climbing around.
montage of them taking pictures of each other. And it was like, yeah, they love each other. They love to take pictures of each
They're at a
other.
waterfall. They're at a waterfall.
Everybody's a photographer.
Everyone is a photographer in this movie.
You know how you show someone you love them? Take a lot of pictures of them.
It was really like, we don't need dialogue. We just need her to take pictures of him. He takes pictures of her. And then they'll jerk it to him, those pictures later. So,
really quick, just while we're talking about that, right before they get to the aircraft carrier, that was one other near future specific that really cracked me up, was they're at that bar and they're establishing, Josh Lucas gets laid a lot.
Yeah.
And the only future specific is they all have martini glasses, and the martini glasses have weird different stems than a normal martini glass.
I didn't notice
It kind
that.
of looks like a Star Trek glass or something. It's got like a
Amazing.
weird wide stem. You're like,
Ooh,
ah,
future.
yes, the near future.
Oh, future martini. We're gonna need glasses for everybody to drink out of, but like not from now. Like future. You
What if
know
the
that how every
stems were
10
wider?
years glasses are totally different.
I wish they had a
This makes it
quark
2016.
from like Deep Space Nine behind the bar, just a full-on fucking alien Ferengi. Like, well, what would you like to drink? They never explained it. I also had an issue with that, and this is an issue that no one will appreciate but me. But they're in Nevada eating sushi, and I was like, I don't know if that's the best place to go for
bad
sushi.
move. Yeah, bad move.
Can we play my
Oh man, we're
favorite
gonna
line?
get a lot of Nevada sushi fans.
Let me tell you, they fly it in, and it's delicious. So let me play you this scene that this is the girl that Josh Lucas is with, this slutty girl. And they're really
No,
trying
we're not going to say she's slutty. We're not going to slut shame this poor
yes,
girl.
no, you're right. She's not slutty.
She is not slutty. She is just
Yes.
the girl that Josh is spending some time with that evening.
Take a listen to this scene at the bar.
I'll be back in a second. I gotta go pee-pee. Well, at least
All right, so
she's
just all
potty
of it right there. So basically,
But she says it across the whole table to her other friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like, oh, that's because girls go to the bathroom together. And the other girl goes, no.
yeah.
So the girl goes to the bathroom alone.
But that's to me, like, I was like, is that how they're showing that this girl is not right for him? Because there isn't like, she doesn't do anything wrong besides say pee-pee.
Yeah, totally.
And I was like, yeah, we got to show, like, they're not meant to beat each other. You know,
Oh,
she
yeah.
says
Well,
pee-pee.
it's just like more opportunities for Jessica Biel, who's with them, because this is the thing. It's like Josh Lucas, Jessica Biel, and Jamie Foxx. On either end, Jamie and Josh are talking to girls, and Jessica Biel is like in her dress navy whites,
Yes.
like alone in the middle, like just rolling her eyes. Like
these-
all she does is roll her
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
And it's also kind of rude that they would pick up these like two girls that like it seemed like they were celebrating. They had a victory there.
Yeah,
and
totally.
And then she's just really the odd person out because it wasn't like they were.
Well, they don't talk to her, Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
They don't like
No.
engage with. Like once there's two girls to talk to, they're just like, yeah, we're ignoring you.
She literally is in the middle, like almost like Charlie Brown, just like oh. All right, that was a little clip of Stealth. If you want to listen to the full episode, you can check it out. It's in the stream for How Did This Get Made. It's right there. Just get it. And if you want to listen to all of our back catalog commercial free, you can do that. Just sign up for Stitcher Premium and use the offer code BONKERS for a free month. You can check out everything that we have behind that paywall. And remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. You just do it there. Is there a line here? I don't know where the lines are. Subscribe, listen, review, rate, do it all. Thank you. And also, if you want to continue this conversation with me, join in my Discord. I love my Discord at discord.gg/Paul Scheer. And we are talking about all things pop culture, how did this get made, unspooled, and more. See you next time.